Good day everyone, this is Ruru back again, and today we'll be looking at Power Rangers 7-inch figures from the Legacy collection. I've already reviewed the Red and Green Rangers figures, and you can look at that in my other videos from before. Now these are from a Build a Megazord line, much like Marvel Legend figures are, but except obviously it's Power Rangers, and I picked all three up, and I will be reviewing all three because they're pretty much the same. They all have the same articulation. The only difference is their colors and helmet sculpts. The only difference for articulation, I would say, is with the Pink Ranger, and I'll get into that more as we go into the review. Just to look at the box really quick, they're all the same except they all have their characters on the front, just like the Pink Ranger, the Black Ranger, and this is the Blue Ranger, and they have thunderbolts that are to their colors as well. And in the box you get the figure and a little accessory to go on their belt. And of course the Build-A-Figure Megazord parts. Now, the only figures that they have not released for this line is the Yellow Ranger, which is unfortunate because now I have a Power Megazord without a leg. On the side, nothing much, just more art and more window display. Nothing much on the side as well. On the top, Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and on the bottom, nothing much. And on the back, it shows the characters that are in this line and the characters you need to build the figure. And of course I'm missing this one. I don't know if it's out yet, maybe it is, but Toys R Us's and Walt Targets in my area suck at restocking, so I really can't tell what's out at the moment. Anyway, just more pictures of the Power Rangers that are in this line. Of course, like I said, it's the Blue, Black, and Pink Ranger. I've already reviewed the Red and the Green, and they also come with the 2 Space Rangers. So, let's open these boxes and take a look at the figure in closer detail. And here they are outside of their packaging, and as you can see, they're very poseable and very hefty and very tall. They're 7-inch figures, obviously. So let's just take a look at each one separately really quick before I give my final thoughts on these figures. Now the sculpting is done really good, and I love the paint. There doesn't seem to be any sort of splotchage that I can see, and the sculpt just looks really cool. And like I said, they're very poseable. The only problem I would say is that Billy's arm is kind of warped here, and you can't really tell on camera, but when you see it up close, it kind of bothers me. Now, their arms are supposed to be able to go in, but their arms are kind of really hard. They're on a ratchet, and they're really hard to push in. So that's one thing I would have to say is a complaint. But other than that, it's okay. Now they all come with the same accessory, their little belt, their little saber / sword, gun, in its inactive mode, unfortunately. Sorry, there's a little fluff on the screen. And it's fairly detailed. I wouldn't say it's detailed enough to, write home about. But really quick, I will pull out a saber from my SH Figure Arts. If I can get it out. Yep, here we go. This is the one from the SH Figure Arts collection. And for some reason, it's really stuck in there. Okay. I don't want to risk taking it out, because that's one thing about these little pouches I hate. They get stuck. Hope it's not molded on there. Okay, there it is. So this is the SH Figure Arts pistol, and this is the one that came with the figure that I'm reviewing right now. And as you can see, there's a lot more detail in the SH Figure Arts one. See if I can close up on it. Autofocus sucks on this camera. But yeah, you can see there's a lot more detail on that one. I mean, everything's painted nicely, and this one is just like, yeah, it's okay. But, for the price, I guess it's not too bad. These all run about $20, which is kind of steep if you think about it, but still, for what you're getting, I guess. They could have included their actual weapons as opposed to this, because that would have made more sense, but I'm gonna overlook that because I like Power Rangers, so yeah. Anyways, it's a really nice figure overall. Let's just go through articulation really quick. It goes in and out for his arms. Forwards, backwards. There's a bicep swivel. There's no swivel at the actual arm. His hands are on a hinge joint here, and they can rotate. His head can go up and down. Not too much, but sufficient enough. And it can, no, it can't tilt, but it can turn. He's got an ab crunch. Nice ab crunch. I love how they added that to these figures. That's something they could have sorely used back in the day when I had these figures. Old figures, of course. He's got a no waist joint, unfortunately. And just really quick, their little morphers are okay. They're actually detailed pretty good. So his legs can go forwards that much, backwards. It can rotate a little bit at his thigh. He's got double jointed knees. And his leg, he's got boot rotation, which is good. His feet can go up, down. And he do have ankle pivot or ankle tilt, whatever you'd like to say. But yeah, really good with articulation. I love it. And something I forgot to mention is that they actually have the detail in their gloves and in their boots, which is really cool. So that's it on articulation for this guy, and we'll move on to the next figure, which is the Black Ranger. Again, everything is the same. The articulation. Hey, wait, he has a waist joint. Oh, so they do have waist joints. Okay, that was weird. So yeah, they have waist joints. And the Black Ranger, again, is just the same as the Blue Ranger. The only difference is that he's black and he's got a different morpher. Again, it's sculpted really nice with the mastodon on there, and he's got the mastodon helmet. Really cool. Oh, piston falls off. One thing you gotta know about these figures is that these things fall off really easily. But that's not a deal breaker in the slightest. And then the Pink Ranger. This is where it gets kind of weird. Her bicep, ab crunch is completely really loose, unfortunately, so it's really hard to get her in like one pose, but that's okay. And her arms are not ratcheted like they are, but same amount of articulation. There's no double joints on either of their arms. Actually, there is for the Blue Ranger and the Black Ranger, but for her, she's got a single joint, unfortunately. And she has a waist joint too, so in case you were wondering. There goes the gun again. Now, the difference between her and them with articulation, besides this single jointed arm, she's got double jointed knees. Unfortunately, she cannot move her feet up at her leg forward because of the skirt. It's such a hard plastic, and you'll have a slit here so that it'll facilitate it, but it's just the skirt is too hard of a plastic to actually let the legs go more than that much. So that's kind of a shame, but it really doesn't matter because it's only one figure, and the Yellow Ranger didn't have a skirt as far as I knew, so it won't be a problem with her. And she can't really move back at all, really, and it's kind of making that awful noise. So yeah, that's the problem with her. But overall, nicely sculpted, nicely painted. Her helmet is awesome, and it's just so cool that I have these in my collection now. So I would recommend them. I couldn't recommend them enough if you're a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan. Especially if it's just $20, that's okay. I know the figure arts are like insanely, ridiculously expensive. Not so much for the Black Ranger or the Blue Ranger. I would say the Pink Ranger, though, that's going to run you some. Because I do have their SH figure arts right here. Their counterparts. Here's the Black Ranger. And their joints are just kind of... I had them posed, so I had to get them off my shelf. Here's the Blue Ranger. He's actually the first figure I got from the SH Figure Arts line. And finally the Pink Ranger, which was the hardest one to obtain because anywhere you look, she is anywhere from 150 to 200 and plus dollars right now if you look at her, if you look her up on eBay or anywhere else, because she's so rare. I don't know why that is. Maybe it was limited production of the figure, but she is expensive, insanely expensive. I think I spent 150. Maybe the cheapest you can get is 120, but she's insanely expensive. So if you can actually track down SH Figure Arts, more power to you, because it's insanely expensive, like I said. But yeah, a nice little 3-figure collection. And I'm just gonna wait on the Yellow Ranger, and then I'll have a complete set. So very worth it. I would say go out and get it. And before I end, here's the Megazord with the pieces they came with. This is from the Red Ranger. The arms are from the pink and the Black Ranger, and the leg is from the Blue Ranger, obviously. And let me just back up a bit. Okay, and it's really good. The articulation's okay. The only problem is that this knee, I don't know, it just pops off. So it's not supposed to actually pop off from here when you're connecting them together, and it's very loose. So that's a bit of a shame, but it's okay. It's still the Megazord. I've never had a Megazord figure, so this is a great place to start if you are starting a collection for Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. And yeah, I'd say go out and get them. This has been my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more reviews, covers, and all that sort of jazz. Yeah, thanks for watching.